Hello, everyone, and welcome to Patriot Crusader Missions Christian Warrior Talk, the Christian Fellowship talk show where we talk about everything, where we invest in one another. We set aside some time to celebrate our victories, to learn from our setbacks, to pick each other up when we fall down, and to provide cover fire for one another when we need it. All right. Um, we talk about everything Christian walk. We talk about everything um, prepper, everything homesteading. You know, nothing's off limits here. Let's get into it. So, um, wherever you're watching from, sound off and let me know who's watching, and we'll give you a strength and honor for joining us. But we're an update on our situation. I'll wait for a few more people to get on to go over an update on Lauren and mine's situation and an update to prayers. Steve Riley, good to see you, brother. I hope you are doing well and your family's doing well and all is well down there and the amazing free state of Florida. Um, but last week was a tough week. This week it's getting better. Still challenging. It's not getting any easier. Doing back-to-back shows alone, it's tough. Lauren has Lauren's still hurting and stuff, and so I asked for your prayers there. Um, Tomorrow we're gonna get an ultrasound to figure out what's going. Chris, good to see you. We're gonna figure out what's going on with the pregnancy, and and I don't really think there's anything we can do. It's more of a, where is the embryo attached? Is it, is there anything alive still in there, et cetera, et cetera? I guess I don't know. I'm kind of just going with whatever Lauren needs to feel good about this, or not good is the wrong word. To whatever she needs to deal with this, I'm going all in and supporting her on it. So hopefully tomorrow we're gonna go. Thank you. Please pray for Lauren and for our unborn child that God would keep it alive and healthy if it's His will, or that if it's His will is that it to go, that it be for Lauren to be safe and for him to call that baby home, and we'll meet it when we get to heaven. Um, so some PCM 90-day challenges this week. I've been really struggling. I got everything up, but I'm behind on filling out the data myself. My workouts have been terrible. I came off prednisone, and my body's just killing me. My back's killing me now. My knees are coming back. I did finally get, I got arthritis in my knees pretty bad from what the doc's saying. So they put out an ortho consult to the VA. We'll see how that goes. Again, no excuse, but I have been in my Bible. But that's really it. I haven't invested in anyone in my family. I've been so withdrawn and internal. Lauren and I are back at a phase where I don't know why or how or whatever, but we're just ships passing in the night right now. Probably because of the baby, probably because life being busy, probably because a week without childcare, a week, bathrooms tore apart right now. Same stuff you guys are all dealing with, just different. And then you add the struggles with the pregnancy on top of that. And, we're not fighting, we're not whatever, but we definitely haven't spent any time. Anya, for whatever reason, chose the past 10 days to be some of the most difficult days she's ever been. B is being sweet, but she's also in that that challenging phase right now where she takes everything you say literally. So you got to watch her, the the expressions you use, the terms of expression or things like that. And there's a lot of questions if you use some colorful expressions. And so we're learning to clean up our language and our analogies and everything else around her. She's been amazing though. Um, you know, full confession for me, I've really started disconnecting from Anya because um, she's been so darn difficult, and I just get so jaded against her so quickly, or frustrated with her so quickly. And Lauren is all compassion with her, and she does so good with her, and I just really struggle with that. I really struggle with. I don't know how to do corrective action yet on a 13-month-old or 14-month-old. It's like she'll hit B, and if I don't see it, I don't. It's just one of those. It's one of those stages. Um, so I could really use prayers for. I'm going to say it, patience. You never want to pray for patience, but prayers for patience and for God to not harden my heart towards my daughter, who, when she's on, she's amazing, but she's so darn difficult. I told Lauren yesterday if we ever had another one like her, I would stop right then and there because that'll kill us. That'll kill us. And I'm hoping she's going to grow out of it. I'm hoping she's not going to be a difficult child her entire life. But she's pretty tough. I'm pretty tough. The flood situation back the back 40 it is receding slowly. So that's good. We hope to move the pigs back to Hill 3 into a new kind of pasture that I kind of designed, where we're going to put a big portion of it up on the hillside. And then when it goes down to where it's been wet, we're going to have a cutoff. So when you're routing your hardwire, you can tie it in a knot, or you can tape it, or use a metal bracket that you figure eight it on. We're going to do that there. Thank you, Steve and Chris. We're going to figure eight that so that the whole problem with our pen before is that, we had hot wire under the water, so it was just grounding out, and pigs wouldn't take them long to figure out, hey, the fence is off or it's not working, and then we lose them all. So this way, when it floods, we'll just be able to go to the breakoff point, disconnect it. They'll have half their field up the hill, probably a third of it, 2/3 of it being the main field, and we won't have to move them again, which is a good thing. The other thing is our Ranger broke down, lost its 4-wheel drive, or something's going on with its transmission on our Polaris Ranger. So prayers for that the warranty covers it, because we're pretty tapped right now, really tapped right now. And that's really it. I've had some great shows on the Hope Report the past few weeks. I don't know if you guys have been watching Tucker Carlson's exposés on January 6th. I didn't catch tonight's because I was at the Bible study that I had to do that I was behind on. And then this show, but him showing the footage of what really happened at the Capitol. It's everything we said it was. They railroaded those people. I don't trust my government one bit anymore. Been saying that for a while. I don't even trust doctors. Like, don't want to get this ultrasound tomorrow. If the doctor tells me, hey, you guys should abort this, we're going to have a really hard conversation, because I don't trust doctors to say that. Tim Tebow would be dead if his mom listened to her doctor. Andrea Bocelli's mom, he'd be dead, and the world would have never heard his voice if his mom listened to her doctor, right? So again, I can't. We the people, good to see you, brother. So I can't. I don't find a lot of credibility in the medical profession anymore. I think they've all brought shame on themselves, and I've talked about this where, in order to move forward as a nation and forward as a country, we have to be able to forgive the the people who got it wrong, but they have to admit they got it wrong first. Right? We can't heal this nation if the COVID crazies and the lockdown crazies and everything can't admit, hey, they got it wrong, and ask for forgiveness, because no one ever goes to jail, man. That's only for people like you and me and the QAnon shaman and all the grandmas and grandpas who walked around the Capitol with a sign. The politicians are so protected, and they're all so dirty. It's completely. I don't know. I don't think there'll ever be any accountability anywhere when it comes to that. I don't think the system will let it happen. And let's face it, we're too comfortable to do anything. Who here is going to leave their family to go die in a battle somewhere because you wanted to resist the government or whatever? No one, right? Everyone's all talk. Everyone's too comfortable. And let's face it, makes us all sick, but not sick enough to do anything. I mean, how many of you guys went to the Million MAGA March? How many of you guys went to January 6th? How many of you guys went to the Richmond Second Amendment protest? I bet you it's going to be a lot of crickets out there, right? And if you're not even going to go to that, they know if you're not even going to inconvenience yourself with that, well, then what are you going to do? You're just going to sit at home, cuss at the TV, and go back to your comfortable life, which is what was done by design, right? Grubhub, food delivers right to your house. Amazon, everything right to your door. Cheap stuff from China. Go buy more toys. Go tune out, while they continually screw us over and get more rich. That is what they do. That is what they do. And that's what they're counting on. And I'm just thankful that I live in a state in Tennessee where enough of us got upset. Hey, Tube Guy, 1975, welcome to the show. I just hope that enough people, well, I'm thankful to be in Tennessee where we have made abortion illegal. We are an abortion-free state, and we are a trans LGBTQ no drag show for kids state. Why that is even a law, I don't know why that has to even be a law, but it is in our state. And I'm proud to be in a state like that. I talk to people a lot of the times, and we have lobbied and have got a lot of people to move to Johnson City, Tennessee. We had a great guy show up the other day who bought chicken and eggs from us. And we're like, hey, how'd you hear about it? He's like, dude, the whole reason we're here is we were in Washington State. We saw your podcast, and you're the one who talked us into moving here. And I'm like, welcome, awesome, man. For everyone who's still in a blue state, God called his people out from Sodom and Gomorrah. He didn't send people in there. He didn't say, go in and hang out around all the degenerates. That's not what God did. God told them to get out of the city and to flee. And if you stay in a state where they're killing babies and they're cutting off kids' body parts, I worry for you. I really do. Moving is not easy. It sucks. It's hard. But it's one of the best things that we ever did. Tube Guy says, coffee's good too. Well, of course, coffee's good. my coffee's good. Well, we take pride in the coffee we serve here. Two guys said, praying about considering a move to Tennessee maybe next year, looking at Johnson City area or Seaverville area. I love the Johnson City area. Greenville is the other area I would look at. I wouldn't, depending on temperature and, I would be really careful. You come out of altitude really quickly coming out of Johnson City. So I don't remember where is Seaverville. Let's see what that is. Oh man, you don't want to be anywhere near that place, dude. Holy smokes. You don't want to be anywhere near Pigeon Forge, my friend. Um, and it is New York traffic on county roads for everyone going to Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. It's going to be bumper to bumper traffic. I mean, it's freaking terrible. You don't want any part of that. If you want to live close, if you want to live on that side, meaning you don't want to be in the mountains, the best you can do over there, and it was on our Maryville is the other place where we really looked at. Maryville is, in between Knoxville and Chattanooga, right? So that area is, we drove around there, didn't like it as much as we loved our areas. We have so much water here, North Carolina, Asheville's right over there, and not that Asheville's a big draw. We go 10 minutes, we're in the mountains. And you've got just some of the most beautiful country anywhere. And there's still a lot of opportunity here. Yes, it's gotten more expensive. It's not crazy free for all like it was before, where everything was so artificially low here. But there's a ton of opportunity here if you're flexible and you want to buy here. There's a ton of opportunity. There are crumbling houses here every block, and it's and that equals opportunity. If you go over the border on 26 into North Carolina, right, the first three towns are gorgeous. They are gorgeous, well developed, everything you could ever want. But every hill has 15 houses on it. We are still virgin territory here, but it can get dumpy, right? You got houses falling down. You got houses with dirt floors. You got poor people all over this place. And if you have money and you have cash, you can come up and make an offer. If you got some patience to stay there the course and develop the land and build whatever you got to build, or put a trailer on it for the meantime, whatever it is. So Virginia, we were in Charlottesville. We were in Earlysville, Virginia, which is a red county just north of Charlottesville, really right next to Greenville, which is red. And I had to get out of Virginia. I knew it was going red. Going blue. Right now they've got Youngkin, but the second Youngkin acts like a real Republican and passes a pro Second Amendment law, or does some anti-abortion stuff and fights for life, all those soccer moms will flip on him in a second, and it'll be back to being a deep blue state. Yeah, no problem, brother. There's also some good towns on the north side of 81. So as you come down and it turns from 81 into something else, but in between here and Knoxville, the whole north side of that freeway, those are some good areas up there too. If you're looking for land, they get rural really quick, right? You're knocking, like, the best part about Johnson City where we're at is I have 44 acres and I am 15 minutes from a Trauma One hospital with a cardiac unit and a children's hospital, Trauma One Children's Hospital. I have amazing internet speed. I've got great cell service. I can get food delivered here. I get all the conveniences I could ever want here. And, is it close from a prepper perspective? Is it a little close to town? Yeah, I'm 15 minutes from town. So, yeah, that's pretty close. Um, but for 99.99999% of everything else, it's amazing. I love the town of Irwin. It's very rustic and small and cool and closer to the mountains. It's the land there is way more up and down, right? But Irwin's a great town to look at. I've got members of my congregation that live there, are from there, work there. So again, it really just it really just depends on what you're looking for. Tube guy. If you're looking for 5 acres, if you're looking for 1 acre, if you're looking for 100 acres, that's going to really dictate how far away from town you're going to be. Greenville is beautiful. I really loved Greenville. Okay, Greenville. You got Newport right below Greenville, which is nice as well. Greenville's got everything you could ask for as well. It's just not as built up. Okay, they don't have a big ETSU there, which is a good thing in my opinion. Um, so I know them. Most of you aren't turning in to hear travel advice or moving advice here, but we've learned so many lessons this year on farming. Well, Irwin actually has better internet than I do. They have oh, what the heck is it? They have I've got cable, so I've got gig down, 40 up. They have fiber optic. Yeah, they have fiber optic. Thanks, Christopher. They've got fiber optic in Irwin. They got a grant, so they've got banging speeds there, even better than what I got. So again, you know, if you're in a place that is purple or blue, get out. Get out while you can. Get out, get out, get out while you can. There's a lot of talk of national divorce. Marjorie Taylor Greene talked about it. I've been talking about it for years. The East Coast, the West Coast, the South Coast. One of the major things that's happening right now that may actually happen, like has more than a snowball's chance in hell of happening, is Eastern Oregon wants to break away from liberal conservative Eastern Oregon wants to break away from crazy liberal Western Oregon, and they want to join Idaho. Idaho wants them, okay? And believe it or not, the crazies in Western Oregon don't want their farmland and don't want their farmers, and they're tired of dealing with, what they call rednecks. If that successfully happens, you might see Western Virginia break off into West Virginia. You might, because there was some talks of some counties when I was there 2 years ago trying to push for that. Lynchburg, where Liberty University and all that, trying to get all the counties to move towards West Virginia, right? And if you start having these big rural counties starting to shift to conservative areas around there, it'll totally redraw the maps. Like, not the driving roads, but like the political maps. I don't even know what the ramifications are of that. But that is, if that happens, that may change all of our realities for a while. Yeah, West Virginia has, but here's the problem with West Virginia. West Virginia was high on my list in the beginning when I was doing data analysis to figure out where to move. So the reddest place I could move was Wyoming. Wyoming is in the middle of nowhere. It's hard to get in, hard to get out. And I would never see any of my family ever again if I moved there because it was just so far away from everyone, right? So we chose Tennessee. I was looking at West Virginia, which would have been a nice, easy drive. It would have been cooler because they have more mountains. It's a little more north. It would have been perfect. But they have 80 years of Democrat rule. The only reason that West Virginia flipped is because the Democrats turned on coal. Everything else there is still Democrat. All right. Yes, they're pro Trump because Trump is pro coal, but the state and the tax laws and everything else is still blue as blue can be. And until they unscrew that, they're not going to get the revitalization they're looking for from people coming there. Whereas right now in Tennessee, there right now, if you go to the welcome areas in Tennessee, they are full with RVs with people who've sold their house, bought an RV, are sitting there with cash, waiting for houses to come on that they can just drive up and offer cash. Right? That's how crazy it is here that people are waiting in RVs at rest areas or at welcome areas. They've had to hire security to make sure that no one gets robbed because there's so much cash out there. That's what's going on right now. People are walking up with cash to buy properties there. I actually talked to Lauren. And I said, if we could sell our property for $1 million plus, would you want to? After everything we've done here and all that stuff, would you want to take cash out here, have that capital to be able to reinvest in another place further out somewhere, and not be in debt up to our eyeballs and not, struggling the way we are right now? And the answer was no. But we're, you know, um, I don't know where I'd want to go. The only place I think I'd want to go would be Moscow, Idaho, somewhere around that, because I'd want to be around Doug Wilson and what he's doing. Hello. Right now it has you listed as Facebook user who said hi, Jason and Lauren and kids. So we are here. We are here until God moves us by saying, yeah, you guys overextended yourself or you guys misread my will. But right now, everything just keeps rolling along, keeps rolling along. And hey, Victor, good to see you. But I can't stress this enough. If you're in a blue state or a purple state, you need to get out now while you can. Before all these states who are losing people, like California, New Jersey, and New York, start passing penalty laws that you have to pay taxes after you move. They're trying to do that. Who will ever move into a place like that? No one. Once we get 12, 14 cabins built back there on the hills around the lake, pond, not a lake, pond. This place is going to be really incredible. I close my eyes and I can see it crystal clear. It's just how to get from here to there. That's the challenge. I know that. Yeah, exactly, Christopher. It's one step at a time, and sometimes it's just that step is an inch, and other days that it's a leap, right? It's one step at a time. We're finally drying out here. Um, we got some seed down. Fortunately, the person who who spread the seed lost the handle on the spreader, so I got to go buy a new spreader, um, seed spreader, and we're gonna reseed it right after this cold snap. We've got a couple days of freezing temps at night, and then it gets up to 60, 70 during the day. Craziness. um, and opportunities come up where we might be able to get a super affordable um, Scottish Highland cow, female, bred, like a third of the price. Normally, some people are charging $6,000 for those, and we might be able to get one for two. And I'm trying to make that happen because part of my vision is breeding Wally with that and starting a herd of those guys. And I think that's part of our future. It's happened at a real bad time. So I got to figure that out. But it's that would be a perfectly unrelated pair. And we could start kicking out Highlands and putting them up there, letting them do their thing. If we get a steer, we get a male, we make it a steer, and we have Highland meat. You know, we've got 4 calves coming here really soon. We got one that's due any day now, our Black Angus. And, it's kind of, you got to wait a year before you can, eat those cows. Highlands are cool looking, but they're also really good at clearing trees. They're really good at clearing brush, like better than pigs, better than, I mean, they go in and they rip everything down. It's great. And they're gentle giants. Their milk is supposed to be off the chart as well. But because yuppies want them as pets, they're ridiculous price. And a friend of mine found somebody who had someone who's got to downsize his herd, and he's getting rid of them at a cheap price. And I'm just like, man, so drooling over that. And then we got Nugget, another Highland coming. And then we've got some Black Angus Jersey combos coming. And we have a Highland Dexter combo, and I think a Highland Jersey. Our meat cows are awesome, dude. They're like solo drama. They're like amazing. They like, like I can't wait. Like we're growing our second pasture right now. We're seeding it. We're letting it go for a little bit. Once things get about, I don't know, about 14 to 18 inches high in there, we'll let them in. And we might just keep the jerseys on this side and them on that side and kind of seed around. But again, we're trying to figure it out because we got more cows than we have pasture. Then we got pasture right now. And now once we get, the other thing is we've got the field, the potato field. I bought more potato seeds, so I want to do the potatoes again. And I want to do them right. And I mean, if anything, if we don't eat them, the pigs, they're great for the pigs. Pigs love them. So, trying to figure that out. How old would they be, Christopher, when you go to process them? Yours is steers, right? And are you processing them yourself, or are you having somebody else do it? Because we're going to try 18 months. Yeah, that's good. Black Angus? Okay. Yeah, we're going to try to do our own here. We're trying, it's been so wet, we haven't got the crane finished yet. The posts are in. It should be like a couple hours to get a crane set up, and then we'll be hanging them and doing them ourselves here. Probably going to start, if I don't buy a steer ready to process, which we'll see. You know, um, we'll probably do Pixie, our Dexter cow, first. She's small. She'll be easier to handle. Um, she's a bully to the rest of the herd because she's got her horns still. And, she's just so mean to all the milk cows. So we're going to, yeah, exactly, tube guy. So we're going to end up probably doing her first after she's weaned her calves. Or if we can pass her calves off to the other mamas, maybe we'll do that. But so we're gonna got to figure all that out. Um, but originally we thought we were gonna do like Karen, who is the one that's about to give birth, and it's like that's great, man. That's great. Um, but Karen, is open, right? I mean, or this will be her second calf. Black Angus, the first calf they give birth to, that's the drama one. That's the one when you got to be like out there 24/7, ready to help them get it out. If it gets stuck, you might lose balls, you might lose the calf. Just miserable. So we would want the babies. And, so if you think of it, if we got to wait 18 months, that's another. So we've had cows now coming up on a year. And if Karen drops, we'll say add a year. Let's say Karen drops, a steer or whatever. And now we got to wait another 8. That's 2.5 years. Yeah, well, that'll make some nice marble meat, man. That'll make some nice marble meat. We give um, a local corn ground mix that we give right now to them all, and then they get as much hay as they want. We were gonna do grass fed, but I really don't like the taste of the old grass fed beef. It tastes almost like I heard someone describe it today. A butcher says it tastes livery because of the way it's in, the iron count and all that stuff. You going local is the best way for the feed stuff. But and I'm not any expert, man. I've just been doing this almost a year. I can't come in here talking like a cowboy, acting like I know what I'm talking about. I've just made a lot of mistakes. It does taste like crap, in my opinion, as well. And I was watching a butcher, the bearded butcher on, I think he's on Instagram, and he took Wagyu beef, grass-fed beef, bison, and regular, grain finished beef, and cut them all, put them side by side, cooked them up, and the least favorite one they tasted was the grass fed. The grain finished was awesome. The Wagyu was awesome, and they said the bison was good too, but none of them enjoyed the grass fed nearly as much. So there you have that. The pigs, man, are going to be interesting because we got Bacon, who's half red wattle, half guinea hog, and and then we have Bubbles, who's half Berkshire, half red wattle, and I'm hoping, theoretically, as I looked at the meats and I picked what I was going to breed, that should give me the best tasting combo out of the whole bunch. And so we'll see. don't know. I'm gonna try different mixes with the pigs. Right now we're doing all. This will be our only guinea hog, which we're doing for right now for the lard. I mean, he's so much fatter than the rest. Um, Bubbles is ready. She's got to get pregnant soon, or else she's going. She's going because she just hasn't gotten pregnant, and they've tried mating her 6, 7 times. So, um, and then it'll be Berkshire. Pigs are great, man. Pigs are so much easier than almost anything. I mean, they don't take up much land at all. They reproduce like crazy. Um, pigs are awesome. I mean, the cows are sexy, but the pigs are the workhorses. They plow your land for you. They rototill everything for you. They are friendly. They're smart. If you get the right breeds, they're not problematic. And I mean, they're funny. They're funny. And they're easy to take care of. And man, you can eat everything off them. I mean, the only thing you don't eat in a pig or you can't use in a pig is the yoink. I mean, you buy pig ears for your dogs. Their skin is the best leather out there. I mean, if you want, barbed wire gloves, what do you buy them? Pig skin. It's freaking amazing. Right? So pigs are awesome. It's just a matter of what you like the taste of. You can look out there, you go online, and these gourmet chefs rate heritage porks. And Red Wattle is one of the higher ones, and Berkshire is another one. And then you've got, a couple other breeds that, but it's going to be based on what you like. You're going to be eating it more than anyone, right? And you get some question ones and you just make all sausage. But if you're having pork tenderloin and you're having, you know, pork chops and you're having hams and you're having, doing pulled pork and all this other stuff, you really got to like what you're doing. Right? You're really going to have to like what you're eating, or else it all goes into sausage. And you just spice the heck out of it, and it's great. You got breakfast sausage, you got dinner sausage, you got spicy sausage. Um, and, that stuff, I mean, that's all great. What I need from you guys is if you guys know of a good sausage mix, guys, I'm just going to start reading reviews online and ordering, you know, pounds of the spices that you put in there. But I need a good I want a good sweet breakfast sausage. Right now we spend so much money on Johnson Farm, whatever it is, Johnson brand, honey and brown sugar um, sausage. The kids love it. I want to do something similar to that, right? Something that we grew, that we loved, that, hopefully eventually honey from our own farm. We're going to do bees soon, right? We're going to do bees definitely soon, and then we'll have our own honey. I mean, dude, this is the part that gets so crazy awesome about homesteading. This year, hopefully, we're about to, once this last cold snap is, we're going to be starting to grow everything: potatoes, peppers, cucumbers. Like we shouldn't have to go to the grocery store for anything other than spices, you know. Um, and then you start getting critters, and now, we've got chicken coming out of our eyeballs. I mean, we got people coming and buying our chickens now, which is great. We're finally getting a return on investment on our chickens. And our chickens are organic, free range chickens. Our eggs now are organic, free range eggs. And we're selling them cheaper than the stores are. Right. Um, so things are starting to pull their weight. The cows have not pulled their weight. It's going to be 2.5 years from moo to steak if we kept all of our cows. But I don't think we're going to be keeping the Dexter. Not a fan of the breed so far. We might have just got one that's a little ornery and a little mean and not so friendly or extra skittish or whatever. But So far, I have not been a fan compared to how cool the Black Angus are, how friendly the Jerseys are, and the Scottish Highlands are like your bro. I mean, Wally would come in and sit on the couch if I'd let him, right? I mean, he's that cool. Heck, Solomon, my Angus would now that he's not alpha. So, man, we did a lot of farm talk tonight. Tube guy, it's not fairly quiet. It hasn't been quiet in 2 years. This is the number one destination for Christian conservatives in the country. Like it isn't a secret. You must have missed the part of the podcast where I said there are people living in RVs in the rest areas in the welcome center parking lots right now with cash waiting for a house to come on the market and showing up and offering cash right then and there. Hey, Andrew. Man, it's great to see new people on here. Long time listener, first time commenter. Have a vision similar to yours and a desire to move to Tennessee. Looking forward to visiting your farm one day. Awesome, Andrew. Well, it's a lot of work, man. That's all I got to say, but um, it's well worth it. It's just really expensive. Like the part of me that was shocked was the startup cost for a farm, right? Like the wire and the equipment and the tractor and everything else. Yeah, I still don't have a tractor. I got a side by side. I got a four wheel truck. Um, and if I had to do that again, I would not have bought the four-wheel truck I bought. I bought the four-wheel truck. I bought a Dodge Power Wagon 2500, and I was hoping that was going to be able to go anywhere on this property. And unless I went out and got some straight mud tires that I wouldn't want to drive on pavement, it would get stuck everywhere. Just get stuck everywhere. The Polaris Ranger, has never been stuck. It's pulled everyone out, and it fits places a lot easier. And it's just everything on it's disposable. If something gets scratched or broken, you unbolt it and you put a new one on, right? So, um, the cost for that, and then the animals. No, it's white knuckle terror, man. It's it's white knuckle terror doing it. Luckily I have a great boss and I have a great job and I'm able to do what I'm doing right now. But someday that's going to dry up and the farm and the church and the compound is going to stand on its own. I'm just hoping I can get cabins built and get everything here built beforehand. Then the land starts supporting itself. Then the property starts supporting itself and the church is supporting itself. It's not all being sucking me dry, and it gets interesting. Then we can continue to beautify and improve everything. Good night, all. Have a very early day tomorrow. All right, Steve. God bless you, brother. God bless you. But we so anyways, it's been absolutely amazing. You guys should move to Tennessee. I wouldn't move anywhere other than Tennessee. Maybe the mountains of South Carolina, right along the Tennessee border. I mean, that's all. Tennessee's pretty, or South Carolina's pretty red. I don't trust North Carolina to stay red, but if North Carolina in the mountains, Tennessee in the mountains, South Carolina in the mountains, Georgia in the mountains, you want no part of Memphis and you want no part of Nashville. Memphis is a war zone. It's a Democrat, poor, flat, hot area. So Tennessee goes like this, right? Eastern Tennessee, sorry, depending on which way you're looking. So Eastern Tennessee is high into the mountains and the bottom. So if you think of Tennessee, it's like an L, right? So the north-south mountains is the Blue Ridge Mountains that come down and then they connect with the east-west mountains, which are the Smokies, but the Smokies end. Okay. And the rest of the state goes down. And as it goes down, as you bleed altitude, it gets hotter and hotter. So Memphis is really, really, really hot. And it's hell. I mean, I used to go to, when I was in the SEAL teams, Shaw's shooting school is there. That's where we did all of our CQB training right over the border in Mississippi. And so we would party in Memphis all the time. It's a hellhole. You want no part of it, dude. Nashville is nice. Nashville, I mean, it's become Nash Vegas. It's Las Vegas, but slightly more wholesome. It's also the only other Democrat place in the state. Right. So fleeing Democrats to move to a Democrat part of the state is crazy to me. You're going Northeast Tennessee is where you want to be, in my opinion. Gives you the best of all worlds. If you want the coldest weather, you move to Mountain City, Tennessee. Mountain City, Tennessee gives you the same weather as Boone, which is basically Maine summers without the Maine winters. But Mountain City, Tennessee is pretty run down. There's opportunity there. Most people will shop in Boone, which is crazy liberal North Carolina. That's where Appalachian State is, and where people go there to, it's crazy liberal. So, might as well be Asheville, which is crazy liberal as well. So again, understand the demographic of what you're fleeing, and if you ever want to move again. I don't want to move again. I do not want to move again. I'm thrown in with Tennessee, and I'll die in Tennessee. Unless God speaks to me we're not anywhere near Tornado Alley, bro. We're in the mountains. We're completely sheltered from all that. You go down to Memphis and you go down to those flatlands that you're talking about. Well, now you're in Tornado Alley. You get up at altitude and you get surrounded. The mountains break up the weather. We've had hurricanes go over us and never felt a breeze. Now, we do get crazy, everywhere, we'll get a crazy gust that takes down trees, and we'll have some wind storms and whatever, but it's never, I've lived all over this country, and this is the most moderate weather I've ever had. Our summers are better than Boston summers. And our winters are nothing, particularly if you're from the Northeast. But, well, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up tonight. I've been doing a lot of farming talk. Hopefully, Lauren will join the show again next week. Again, please pray for my wife, for our unborn child, and that God's will be done. May He intervene on behalf of our child and my wife and give us a great, good outcome with her pregnancy and a healthy baby boy. All right. God bless you guys. I will see you soon, and I'll see you tomorrow for Bible study. All right. Bye.